Hello, BookTube. I have the camera set up here, and as I've mentioned, talking to you really does make me feel better. This has been a rotten week for dog health. The sicker of my two dogs has been pretty bad all week, and it's been exhausting, not just physically but also mentally. And I've noticed during the week something that I noticed in the past as well, which is that I don't know. I can't speak for other booktubers, but putting this camera up here and picturing all of you out there and just talking to you actually does make me feel better. So I figured since I had the camera up, I might as well keep talking to you. And I have a mail haul of a fairly sizable amount. It came while I was making the earlier videos, so I figured we'll get right to it and see what we have here. Those of you who are new to the channel, that's why the scissors are there. Because I get 10 packages a day and some of them don't behave. Although I have to wonder how far we have progressed into the postmodern age that somebody could look at a pair of scissors hanging on a nail and leave a comment in the comments field saying, "What's the point of the scissors?" Isn't the point of scissors absolutely self-evident? No one uses them as a decorating feature. It's like saying, "What's the point of pants?" Well, actually, that'd be a legitimate question to stop not wearing any. Let's just move on, shall we? All right. So this is it looks like a novel of some kind. The Space Between the Stars by Anne Corlett. I did not request this. Don't know anything about it. Who is Anne Corlett when she's at home? Looks like a friend you'd want to have on your side when things go bad. Anne Corlett is a criminal lawyer by profession and has recently completed an MA in creative writing at Bath Spa University. I should know this, but I confess I don't. Is Bath Spa University different from Bath University? Are there two? Does Bath have two schools? One connected? Maybe Bath Spa is a different place altogether. Her work has been published in magazines and anthologies, and her short fiction has won, placed, or been shortlisted in national and international awards. The Space Between the Stars is her first novel. Oh, how nice. Oh, how wonderful. She gets a first novel from Penguin Random House. That's great. All right, so this comes out in mid-June. What have we got here? All Jamie Allenby ever wanted was space. Even though she wasn't forced to emigrate from Earth, she willingly left the overpopulated, claustrophobic planet. And when a long relationship devolved into silence and suffocating sadness, she found work on a frontier world on the edges of civilization. Then the virus hit. Now Jamie finds herself dreadfully alone with all that's left of the dead, until a garbled message from Earth gives her hope that someone from her past might still be alive. Soon Jamie finds other survivors, and their ragtag group will travel through the vast reaches of space, drawn to the promise of a new beginning on Earth. But their dream will pit them against those desperately clinging to the old ways, and Jamie's own journey home will help her close the distance between who she has become and who she is meant to be. Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't that sound good? Oh my. Okay, great. Okay, a debut science fiction novel. The Space Between the Stars. Very nice. All right, so we're off to a good start. Let's see what the next one is. Oh, it's the finished copy. World War I history. Very nice. This is a finished copy. Comes out in mid-June of The Great Rescue. We saw this on this channel already. The Great Rescue. American heroes, an iconic ship, and the race to save Europe in World War I. When war broke out in Europe in August of 1914, the New Germany luxury ocean liner SS Vaterland was interned in New York Harbor, where it remained docked for nearly 3 years, until the United States officially entered the fight to turn the tide of the war. Seized by authorities for the U.S. Navy once war was declared in April of 1917, the liner was renamed the USS Leviathan by President Woodrow Wilson and converted into an armed troop carrier that transported thousands of American expeditionary forces to the battlefields of France. So this is the story of the Leviathan in a nice, pretty hardcover. Good. All right, let's go on here. What's this next one? This is a nice sized mail haul. I like that. Oh, oh, look at that. All right, this comes out in mid-August. And it is by Bill Goldstein, and it's called The World Broke in Two. We have a stepstone of authors, of famous authors: Virginia Woolf, T.S. Eliot, D.H. Lawrence, E.M. Forster, and the Year That Changed Literature. As 1922 begins, four legendary writers, the four I just named, are literally at a loss for words, confronting an uncertain creative future despite success in the past. The literary ground is shifting as Ulysses is published in February and Proust's In Search of Lost Time begins to be published in England in the autumn. Yet dismal as their prospects seemed in January, by the end of the year, Woolf has started Mrs. Dalloway. Forster has, for the first time in nearly a decade, returned to work on the novel that will become A Passage to India. Lawrence has written Kangaroo, but then Nobody's Perfect. That was me, not the cover. His unjustly neglected and most autobiographical novel, it is completely justly neglected because it's absolute dog crap. In fact, I have in my life found dog crap to be universally more interesting than T.H. Lawrence. And Eliot has finished and published to wide acclaim The Wasteland. The wide acclaim stops at the border of this BookTube channel. The Wasteland is garbage. It's not just garbage, it's offensive garbage. I don't understand, of all these four writers, I don't understand the pass that Eliot gets at all from posterity. I don't understand why he isn't lumped in the same category as Leni Riefenstahl and studied as an exhibit of a poisonous animal under glass. I don't get that at all. Him and Pound. Let's continue, shall we? Willa Cather wrote about changes in literary fashion. Quote, "The whole world broke in two in 1922 or thereabouts." That has to be the genesis of this book, that quote. What Woolf, Eliot, Lawrence, and Forster were struggling with that year was, in fact, the invention of modernism. Based on original research, The World Broke in Two captures both the literary breakthroughs and the intense personal drama of these beloved writers as they strive for greatness. Okay. And Bill Goldstein is the founding editor of the New York Times Books website. I myself, those of you who have made a study of Open Letters Weekly, or Open Letters Monthly, the literary journal where I am the managing editor, might know that I have a different theory as to what these writers are struggling with, and it's not the birth of modernism. They were perfectly fine with modernism. They all were intrigued by it. My theory is that they were struggling with what we would now call a vast post-traumatic stress reaction to the First World War. But my crackpot literary theories are a subject for another video. Let's move on here. What is this next one? This is from Harvard University Press. It comes out in August. And it's called Life Through Time and Space by Wallace Arthur. All humans share three origins: the beginning of our individual lives, the appearance of life on Earth, and the formation of our planetary home. Life Through Time and Space brings together the latest discoveries in both biology and astronomy to examine our deepest questions about where we come from, where we are going, and whether we are alone in the cosmos. Astrobiology is the field. Do intelligent aliens exist on a distant planet in the Milky Way, sharing the three origins that characterize all life on Earth? In addressing this question, Life Through Time and Space tackles the many riddles of our place and fate in the universe that have intrigued human beings since they first gazed in wonder at the nighttime sky. Okay. The beginning of our individual lives, the appearance of life on Earth, and the formation of our planetary home. All humans share three origins? Isn't there an origin that's left out of that list? The origin of humans is left out of that list? Why would... That's kind of odd. I mean, the origin of life on Earth, the origin of the planet, the origin of our individual lives, yes, but also the origin of our species. It's kind of a weird omission. But anyway, well, I'll find out why when I read it closer to August. I don't think I feel like tackling it anytime soon. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. This next is two from One World Press, or no, the Bellevue Literary Press. Yeah, Bellevue Literary Press. What do you have to tell me? This comes out in paperback in January. It's a trade paperback original called Hap and Hazard and the End of the World by Diane DeSanders. Just about the ugliest book cover I have seen so far this year. For Dick and Jane, Dallas after World War II is a place of promise and prosperity. The first home air conditioners are making summertime bearable, and Dick's position at his father's business, the Cadillac dealership, is assured. Jane has help with the house and the children, and the garden parties and holiday celebrations are spirited social affairs. For the oldest of their 3 daughters, however, life is full of frustrating mysteries. The stories the adults tell don't make sense. Too curious for comfort, she finds her questions only seem to annoy them. Why won't they tell her the truth about Santa? What is the Holy Spirit business, and what is the difference between an angel and a ghost? Why is her mother so often tense and sad? Why does her father keep flying into violent rages? Okay, interesting. So a family-oriented historical novel. Hap and Hazard and the End of the World. And then the next one, this is a 2-book thing. The next one comes out in October, and it's by Helen Benedict, and it's called Wolf Season. Is this also going to be a trade paperback original? Yes, it is. Okay. After a hurricane devastates a small town in upstate New York, the lives of 3 women and their young children are irrevocably changed. Rin, an Iraq war veteran, tries to protect her blind daughter and the 3 wolves under her care. Naima, a widowed doctor who fled Iraq with her wounded son, faces life-threatening injuries. Beth, who is raising a troubled son, waits out her Marine husband's deployment in Afghanistan, equally afraid of him coming home and of him never returning at all. Wow, okay, so that is as contemporary fiction gets. Wolf Season is the name of this book. Interesting. We'll see what comes of it. And then let's see here. Next up is this one here. That's a finished copy of something. Oh, okay. It's a fully finished copy of something we've seen on this channel before. This is Fully Connected, is the name of the book, by Julie Hobsbawm. Comes out in mid-June. Surviving and Thriving in an Age of Overload. Fully Connected. Do I remember being annoyed by this book already? I don't imagine any of you are keeping track of how often I am annoyed by books. 25 years after the arrival of the internet, we are drowning in data and deadlines. Okay, I was annoyed by this book earlier. Humans and machines are in fully connected overdrive and starting to become entwined as never before. In an age of overload, trying to absorb so much information and maintain a healthy balance in our personal and professional lives has become too complex, dissatisfying, and unproductive. Something is missing. Yeah, I can tell you what's missing from that description. A little cheese to go with all this whining. That something, our author argues in this groundbreaking book, is social health, a new blueprint for modern connectedness. All right, I think I got the advanced copy of this, and I don't think I read it. And I think the reason that I sort of backburnered it is because the premise annoyed me. But that's a reason to read it, not a reason not to read it. So I will get to that right away. Now I feel terrible that I didn't do it earlier. You all already know where I stand on a premise like that. I am as old as dirt, and I can't get enough of the connectedness that seems to be overwhelming our author and her interviewees. The only reason that something is missing, the only reason that you feel overwhelmed by the technology that's out there that allows you to send letters to people instantaneously, that allows you to know everything there is to know about someone when you want to, that allows you to know everything there is to know about a subject at a moment's notice, the only reason you would feel overwhelmed by that is because to quote the popular meme from last year, you're doing it wrong. I used to make a living pounding out copy on a manual typewriter and taking it to a mailbox and making sure it had proper postage. If I loved that world, and I did, I loved it with a passion, and yet love this world, then it's not really a question of cognitive overload now, is it? But anyway, let's move on. Let's see what else we have here. See, you can tell that these filmings make me feel better because I all of a sudden have the will to rant. Oh, fantastic! Okay, this comes out in late June, and this is a book I never got in the advanced copy. This is Max. It's by Chris Ershmer, and it's a biography of Max Eastman, the editor of Max Eastman. What a great cover. There he is rowing, just paddling along. I think that's fantastic. In fact, isn't the cover by someone famous? No, it's not credited. But anyway, I never got an advanced copy of this, and I was hoping that I would get one because he's a fascinating figure. He runs throughout a lot of 20th century literature invisibly, as all really good editors do. So I will. Great, fantastic, glad to have it. All right, we're approaching the end here. Don't you worry. We've got just 3 more packages to go. What is this next one? This is a book called More Mama by Kit Reed, a riveting supernatural Southern Gothic tale from the author of Where. Don't think I ever read Where. It's due in a week. It's due in late May. And Kit Reed is published her first story 50 years ago. Good Lord. Del Duval has been living on the street since his accident. He can't remember who he was or where he came from. All he has is a tattered note in his pocket with the address for the Ellis House, a sprawling ancient residence in Jacksonville. He doesn't know why he's been sent there. Okay. Well, it's a lovely looking thing. It's due right away. I am no fan at all of Southern Gothic, even less a fan of supernatural Southern Gothic. But that's a pretty book. I don't know that I will prioritize that one, as we say. But let's see here. I've never understood the point of Southern Gothic. And I shouldn't say that because Flannery O'Connor is one of my favorite writers, but I've never understood the point. It seems like overkill. If you ever spent time in Jacksonville, then you know that in order to convey convincingly a horrific Southern Gothic tale, all you have to do is take a snapshot of anything that you see anywhere. Every time I read Southern Gothic, I always just want to, no matter what it is, no matter how well it's done, no matter what the point of it is, I get to the end of it, and I always want to say, yeah, it's really hot. I get it. So maybe I'm not the right audience for the thing. Anyway, this next one is called Class, and it comes out in late May, and it's by Francesco Pacifico, in which he tells the story of a group of overcapitalized, underemployed young Italians who jet back and forth between New York and Rome in search of love, fame, and meaning. Huh. Okay, this is certainly bucking for the title of the ugliest book I've seen in a while, although the other one still gets it. But this is due right away, so if I'm going to do anything with this, I should probably read it. All right, so we've hit a shoal of fiction here. Well, this is the last one. We'll see what this next one is. Oh, all right, it's more fiction. This is the finished copy of. This is due in mid-June. It's a finished copy of Midnight at the Bright Ideas Bookstore by Matthew Sullivan. I don't think I ever showed this on this channel, did I? He received his MFA from the University of Idaho and has been a resident writer at Yaddo, Centrum, and the Vermont Studio Center. And this is his first novel. Oh, we're doing another first novel. Fantastic. I don't think I ever got this on camera here. Lydia Smith lives her life hiding in plain sight. A clerk at the Bright Ideas Bookstore, she keeps a meticulously crafted existence among her beloved books, eccentric colleagues, and the book frogs, the lost and lonely regulars who spend every day marauding the store's overwhelmed shelves. But when Joey Molina, a young, beguiling book frog, kills himself in the bookstore's upper room, Lydia's life comes unglued. Always Joey's favorite bookseller, Lydia's is bequeathed his meager worldly possessions, trinkets and books, and a detritus of a lonely, uncared-for man. When Lydia flips through his books, she finds them defaced in ways both disturbing and inexplicable. They seem to contain a hidden message. What did Joey know? And what does it have to do with Lydia? Okay, so, and I got the advanced copy of this. I don't think I read it. But it's, oh no, I did. I didn't read the whole thing. I read about 50 pages and then I stopped. I think because somebody had to go to the bathroom, and I just never went back to it because it didn't really hook me. But it is a love story to bookstores. So there are lots of people out there who will be hooked by it. But there you go. That is our mail haul here. This is Midnight, like Bright Ideas Bookstore. Class, a novel. More Mama, a novel. A biography of Max Eastman, as far as I know, the first one. Fully Connected, about our hyper-connected world and how it's overwhelming us all. Wolf Season. Hap and Hazard and the End of the World. Life Through Time and Space. The World Broke in Two, about 1922, and 4 writers. The Great Rescue, about the USS Leviathan. And another debut novel, The Space Between the Stars. Promising sounding science fiction. So there you have it. That is another mail haul for you. And I'll be back soon. Thank you, BookTube.